Hi guys, it's Jay. This is my second video for this channel. I'm mentally cheering myself on because this is so nerve-wracking. And today we're going to talk about all the books that I read in the month of May. I read 5, which I feel very good about. I usually read about 3 to 4 a month. I work full-time and I get distracted easily. So I'm just going to be super honest. I read 5. I'm in the middle of a 6. I think I'll get pretty far. I might even finish, but I'm shooting this video now, girl. So let's talk, shall we? The first book that I read, sorry, you're going to see my hands moving a lot because I don't have like a bench or anything here. The first book that I finished in the month of May is going to be Annie bought. So I got this from Barnes & Noble. It was buy one, get one 50% off. I don't remember what the other book I got was because apparently this is the one that made it into my brain. I read this in like 2 days. We recently watched Companion with Jack Quaid, and I feel like her name is Sophie, but that's probably not true. The girl from Yellow Jackets, and I loved it. It was like a 5-star movie for me. And so I just wanted to consume like all the AI content that I could consume. I'm waiting for Murderbot to come out. And so I picked this up because I had seen, honestly, a lot of people talk about it last year and how they were like, oh, I thought this was going to be uncomfortable and weird, but it was really good and moving. And so I picked it up and I read the whole thing in like 4 days, which is not impressive for a lot of people, but is impressive for me. When I was cleaning my house, I was listening to the audiobook. When I was at work, I was reading it on my Kindle app. When I was at home, I was like, I could not stop. I just needed to understand this robot's brain. And I don't know, I just like really liked it. I like, the words are escaping me, but it just moved me. It like unlocked all of these things that I've thought about AI, that I've thought about humanized like machines, that I've worried about as like, like these models looking like women or men or people, and like what that says about us as a society if we are simulating like human relationships with them, and what it trains their brain. Anyway, I will say I don't think this book is for everyone. I think if you're somebody that is like really uncomfortable with just like any type of explicit content, then you will probably be uncomfortable with this. There are things about it that are triggering, but I don't know. It was 5 stars for me. I think that those things are supposed to make you uncomfortable and make you think and question your role as a human, and for me as a woman. And I get it, Sierra. I got it. I loved it. I can't wait to see what this author puts out next. So good. This might be one of my top reads of the year, to be quite honest, which I did not think when I went into it. I thought it was going to be good. I want every book to be good, but I didn't think it was going to like consume my brain the way that it did. I had a little bit of a slump after this because I was like, wow. So there's that. I thought it was great. I'm gonna keep saying that because I have no other feedback. But the next book that I read is Where the Library Hides. This is the sequel to What the River Knows. So What the River Knows was my November selection for book of the month last year. Nope, 2 years ago, like 2023. Is that right? I don't know that that's right. I'm sorry. Anyway, you guys are like, literally, who cares? And I give that one 3 stars. I really struggled with it. It took me like a month to get through. And I thought for sure, like, I love ancient Egypt. Like, top 3 countries I want to visit, Egypt is up there. I want to go to the pyramids. I love most fiction that is about the Egyptian gods and the architecture and the design and the science of it all. And so when I read that it was like Indiana Jones, Egypt, young adult, murder mystery, I was like, this is going to be great. And I think it was just a matter of right book, wrong time, because I read it and I almost gave it 2 stars. I think I ended up giving it 3 for the last like 30%. And I was like, do I want to read the sequel? And I was like, you know what? It's an add-on. It's not a huge commitment. Like, you already own the first one. It's a beautiful hardcover. Like, maybe you just missed it the first time. And guess what? I missed it because I ate this up in a week. This was a 4-star read for me. Easy, 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 easy. I can't remember any of the characters' names right now. Wit and Inez, yes, the chemistry was chemistrying. I don't know. I thought it was really good. I thought that it was doing what I wanted the first book to do, which makes me feel like it was a matter of right book, wrong time. Because this one was right book, right time. I could not put it down. I'm usually not an audiobook fan. I don't want to like it just depends on the reader, but like a lot of the times I find it distracting. I kind of find it slow. It's really hard for me to pay attention unless it's like a romance or a thriller, like something that's kind of easy to consume. Fantasy, I have a harder time with audio on. And I was listening to the audiobook of this on Spotify on the way to work. I was like, I am in. I want to know what's going on. What is Wit hiding? What is like Inez hiding? Like, oh my God, he stole her fortune. Yeah, I was all in. 4 stars. I will be reading stuff by this author when she publishes in the future. I'm so excited for her adult book next year. Anyway, long story short, if you read a book and you're like, maybe that wasn't for me, maybe it's a you problem. So maybe it's not a you problem, but for me, it was a you problem or a me problem. So the next book that I read, so I read Annie Bot and It Destroyed My Brain. And then I read Where the Library Hides, and I was like having a good time, having fun. And then I kind of like could feel myself getting slumpy. Like I was like, I don't know what I want to read, which usually means that it's time for romance for me. So I've had this on my shelf for a long time. I have the sequel and the third one also on my shelf. And I was like, you know what? My coworker read this. My best friend read this. They read it in like 4 days. Like, let's just read it and like see. And if it gives you the ick, then it gives you the ick. We'll figure it out. I really liked it. I hated the extended epilogue. The epilogue gave me the ick, but everything else, I was. This was also a 4-star read for me. I have a job where I deal with like gross shit every day, so this is not that gruesome to me. You guys are probably like, what? Anyway, so the gore, I will say, if you are like a really like, if you can't do gore, I wouldn't do this. If you can't do like blood and guts, if you can't, like, I think that a lot of people would be really icked out by this, but I'm never gonna yuck someone's yum, so don't yuck mine. I'm like so excited for books 2. I'm also excited for 3, but my favorite brother, because it's about 3 brothers and their love stories and kind of like their atypical relationships with each other, like in the sense of like they had childhood trauma and it manifests in kind of obscure ways. The second brother, who the sequel is about, is the one that I was most drawn to, probably because he's the eldest sibling and eldest sibling energy. So yeah, I loved this. This was a 4-star read. This is like maybe a 4.5. I said it was good. I didn't say it was like the best thing I've ever read. I didn't say the writing was subpar. I will be buying whatever Brynne Weaver puts out. I'm so excited for Taurus season and the rest of her books. Like this trilogy is going to get done by the end of, I'm going to say this year, but definitely like I could probably read them all in the next month. I am just trying to control my brain rot to some degree. Okay, book 4. So I was having brain rot and I was like, I should read a romance. So I read Butcher and Blackbird. Well, my girlfriends and I had a birthday party for one of them the month before, and she probably reads the most out of all of us. And so for her birthday, we were like, tell us what you want. And we're like, tell us what pretty books you want. So we like went to Barnes and Noble and she like sent all these pictures and my girlfriend picks them out for her. Well, the book that she picked out, I think she got her a couple, but anyway, long story short, was hooked. My one girlfriend has read dark romance. My other one is like newly getting into reading. I mean, she's a reader, but like just in the last year, she's really like picked it up, right? She's like 12 books in. We love her for it. We love that she can now deal with us at the bookstore for hours on end. So she also bought the Pretty Edition, and she was like, we should read this all together. And I was like, say less, because I think that this will be an interesting experience, as we have many various degrees of experience when it comes to dark romance. We got none, we got a lot, and we got right in the middle here. So I liked this. I gave it 3 stars. I read it pretty quickly. One of my girlfriends read it in like 2 days, which, once again, not yumming someone, or not yucking someone's yum, because I also liked this, but she literally was like, we're reading all of them. And then my other girlfriend read it probably in about 2 weeks, and she was like, are you caught up? And I was like, I haven't even started. So I read it in a week to catch up with them. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I mean, we bought Scarred. We're gonna read Scarred in August. So I saw somebody talk about like palate cleanser books, and I think this is like a perfect example of that, where like sometimes, and this has a plot, this isn't no plot, just vibes, but sometimes I need a romance that is like 25% plot and then like 75% vibes. And I like this because like you already know who the villain is. You already know that they're going to do some sketchy shit. You can like connect all the little Easter eggs to like the Disney story. And yeah, it was a good time. We had fun. Honestly, the best part was texting all my girlfriends like at different like pages. My one friend texted me at like 180, and she was like, I need you to get to this page because things are picking up. And I was on page like 20, and I was like, all right, no pressure. So yeah, we're gonna read Scarred in August. So if anyone wants to read along with us, there's like 4 people watching this video, but yeah, feel free, because we had a good time. Dude, I once again, this is a kind of weird reading month for me. Anyway, the last book that I read this month was Our Infinite Fates. I have, I feel bad saying like I read it because I'm on page 328. So I have 10 pages left, but I will be finishing this later today. This book I gave 3 out of 5. I'm like very, very certain that is probably my rating. There was a point where I got to page 275 and the reveal came, and I thought it might be a 5-star read because I thought the reveal was incredible in the last third of the book. I did not predict it. And honestly, like, I don't think I felt the urgency to predict it either, which was kind of nice. I feel like a lot of the times when you have these people who are like trapped in a bond or whatever, and they're like, oh, I can't tell you what the other one is because you'll die. I'm like, just tell her, this is stupid. But like the writing that Laura does in this is like so comforting, and it kind of just felt like listening to piano music. And so like that's kind of how I felt going through like each of their lives. Like it kind of felt like listening to music. Like there were swells and like drops, and like sometimes it was really peaceful and sometimes it felt like really erratic. And I really, really liked the writing. So the writing was beautiful. The twist at the end was really good. I liked this. I didn't love it, but I would read more by this author. I'm very curious. I know she has another book called Silver Cloak coming out later this year. So, but her writing alone, it kind of reminds me of like V.E. Schwab. I think that I was just able to attached to Schwab's characters more, and that's really all. But I think the reason that I didn't connect to them is maybe just that. But like I said, I thought the writing in this was great. I thought the story was like pretty good, but I think the prose is so beautiful that it like sometimes the story didn't feel high stakes in my brain. And that's not that it's not written to feel high stakes. Like it is, like, you know that the love of your life is going to murder you every single time. It's just more that like it was written so beautifully and like so tenderly that like by the time that we got to the end and the big reveal happened where you kind of like learn, I didn't feel like the sense of urgency that I feel in other fantasy novels, where like I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen to them? I kind of was just like, yeah, I know how this music goes and how it ebbs and swells. And no matter what happens at the end, I still feel like our 2 leads are going to be together. So I think that's why it was 3 stars for me. It's very good. I think a lot of people would give this 4 or 5. I really liked it. I can't wait to see what this author does next. So the last book that I'm currently reading, this is a sleeve, is Fate Inked in Blood. Like I said, I got A Curse Carved in Bone in my Book of the Month box this month as like my add-on. So I was like, I really got to read A Fate Inked in Blood before I can justify buying the sequel. I'm about 25% of the way in. It feels like a 4-star read for me. I'm having a good time. Yeah, that's all I really say about that. So I haven't decided if I'm going to start something else at the same time now that I finished our Infinite Fates, or if I'm just going to wait it out until June. My girlfriend and I are going to read The Missing Half starting June 1st. So I'm trying to decide if I just want to let my brain like fully consume an Fate Inked in Blood and then have nothing, like total palate is ready to go for The Missing Half, or if I want to just like, it's only the 24th, so I feel like I could maybe read something small. Like I was thinking about reading like When Among Crows or A Magical Girl Retires. So I've been itching for historical romance, so I kind of want to read Pride and Prejudice, but it's 400 pages, and I don't think I can bang that out in a week, even if I started today. So anyway, that is my May reading wrap up. Let me know what you guys read in May. Let me know what your favorite book was. Let me know if you strongly disagree with any of my opinions. Anyway, I think that's all. I'm Jay, and I hope you have a good day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.